I'm about to show you guys how everyone actually made their money in crypto. Now, I know you guys see all these fancy stories about people making loads on NFTs or Bitcoin or whatever else. Everyone made their gains from the bear market. Now, this is likely looming on the horizon. I'm not going to jump into the details of that. If you would like to see more information on the bear market, what it means, and kind of what we could be looking at for the future, leave a comment down below. But until then, I'm going to talk about my personal bear market strategy and how I am going to implement it. There are some interesting things in here. I am going to harp on DCA, but trust me, there's some other interesting stuff too. Please, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own degenning. I will do my own degenning. Always do your own research, but there is some really cool stuff to talk about here. I'm not going to harp on it for too much longer, but I am running for Illuvium Council. So don't forget to vote when the time comes. If you guys want to learn more about me, feel free to send me a DM. I'm also always hanging out in Shiny Shards Discord, Illuvium Discord, so on and so forth. Tag me, do whatever. Always happy to answer some questions. So now, what am I going to harp on today? The Fear and Greed Index. I'm just going to quickly pull it up. Actually, you know what? There's an easier way of doing this. I'm still a bit sick, so I'm sorry if my throat's a bit weird today, but yeah. So let's have a look at the Fear and Greed Index. What is it? This thing marks current, like, this is for Bitcoin specifically, but there are Fear and Greed Indexes for lots of things, but this pretty much marks general sentiment in the market. What does this mean? Pretty much every peak in every bull run, in every stock market and stuff, had extreme greed when it crashed and extreme fear when it bottomed out, even temporarily. Now, this isn't an exact science. It's not going to give you the tops and bottoms. That would be ridiculous. But tracking the sentiment in the market helps you, because what they say is sell when the market is getting greedy and make sure you're buying when the market is fearful. And currently the market is pretty fearful, so that should be a good indicator to buy up. Okay, so this one doesn't have a price on it, unfortunately, but sometimes they do. Fear and Greed Index Bitcoin. This is really cool stuff, I promise. This isn't the one I just found, was it? Okay, so this one also doesn't have the price on it, which is kind of annoying. But you'll notice that when it drops in extreme fear, you start hitting the bottoms of markets. Even the Bitcoin in the May crash a while back, the Fear and Greed Index hit like 9 and 10, and then it went straight up pretty much. So like, just consider that when you're looking at this. So what I've built is I've mapped out the Fear and Greed Index for, I've just used the Bitcoin Fear and Greed, but I've marked out the prices for ILV and Ethereum. And we're going to start off with Ethereum because it's really, really important. So don't skip to ILV. It is not going to make much sense. So trust me, you're going to want to watch this. Please like the video. I really appreciate it. Anyways, also, you guys are going to be able to use this Google Sheet, but watch this first. It's really important to understand how this all works. Now, what I've done here is on the left, I've marked in the Fear and Greed and the Ethereum price. I did it manually, unfortunately, so it's not too easy to control and adjust, but I might be able to figure that out in the future. But for now, that's just how it is. I've set it up for the Friday, okay? It's pretty much the Friday until the Fear and Greed Index didn't exist, okay? I've got it all the way back, which is approximately mid-2019, okay? June 2019. I also had to put in the date the American way, otherwise it wouldn't read it. So that was really weird. It took me ages to figure that out. Anyways. I've put that in. I've put in the Ethereum price. I've done the same for ILV, but ILV, I'm only using the Binance chart, so it doesn't go back very far. I might add in the ETH ILV pair, but that is quite a bit more complex. So I haven't done that for now. But what I'm looking at is setting up buying and selling parameters, all right, using the Fear and Greed Index. Crap, did not have clicked it. Okay, there we go. Sorry. The Fear and Greed Index using different parameters. Now, as you can see, they're quite simple. How much do I sell or how much do I buy? And do I buy or sell? Depending on where the Fear and Greed Index is. The ones I've set up today are what I found myself to be able to kind of maximize the gains. But they're in two very different settings, and you guys need to understand that, okay? The Ethereum one is tracking the previous bear market and some of the previous highs up until the run-up, and now starting our bear market. And that is going to be really relevant because I've set pretty much all of this to just buy every week. I tried selling different amounts of fear and greed, but it did not apply pretty much at all. It did not make a difference, except I actually lost money. The more I made it buy up, the more money I gained, because it's all about just buying over time in the bear market, and eventually in the bull market, you'll do pretty well. It'll just go up, and hopefully you'll be able to sell that peak, which is what the 90 to 100 is marking. When I sold in the 90 to 100 bracket for the Fear and Greed Index, this was the only way my total value actually went up. When it hit that zone, ETH just crashed. All right, you can see that from the chart, but you can see it from this as well. So you can see the final value. I have about 191K for about a 30K initial investment over approximately 3 years or so. You can see I was investing $200 every week. That's what DCA is, dollar cost averaging. So you DCA the same amount every week, every month, whatever you want to do on the same day, and just do that. And that gets rid of a lot of the volatility. And you can see the average buy is around $900 and the average sell is around $1,900. That's where that 90 to 100 was. It was at 2K. ETH hit 4K. You can see that these actually don't correlate that well sometimes, and it's really tricky to nail it on the head. Okay, but if you do see the Fear and Greed go above 90, maybe sell off a bit of your stack, take some profit, take that off the table, go buy yourself a nice car or something, do whatever you want. But that will be my plan for the future. If it hits up in those high zones, I will take profit. Okay, even 80 to 89, I will take some profit just to lock it away for later use, all right? Help get rid of some of that volatility. You can't just buy forever. You need to sell at some point to use the money for something else or whatever. Or you could, what I plan on doing in the future is leave it on a card, use the card to pay with ETH, but that's quite a few years down the road. So let's table that for now. Sorry for rambling on for a bit. So you can see that it's got about a 6x gain over the past 2 or 3 years. And that will increase, if ETH hits like 10K, that 6x gain will go 18, 20x, and so on and so forth. The money is made in the bear market, especially if you're investing in really small altcoins, but you have to really believe in the project. ILV is really the only one I'm going to talk about as far as a small altcoin that I believe in the project at this case, but things like IMX, Aave, and Solana are on my radar, but I definitely don't believe in them as much. And they're a lot larger than ILV too, so a lot less room to grow, let's put it that way. So this is the only way I got it to profit, is putting a sell order at 90 to 100. Now let's have a look at ILV. ILV, I put sell orders at the top six, yes. And you can see that I've only made about a 1.2x on the money, all right? If I set it up like I did with Ethereum, you're actually sitting at about 50% of your initial investment, a giant loss. Now, I haven't included any sort of staking in this, which would obviously offset a lot of that stuff, which is what's great about the Illuvium ecosystem. But imagine this DCA strategy over time, and imagine you using your ILV RevDiz gains or whatever else to DCA as well. This thing could compound really, really fast. But as I said before, I'll put this calculator in the description. You guys can make up your own mind and do your own calculations on how you think all of this will play out in general. I hope it makes a lot of sense to you guys. It's really tricky stuff, but this is really the only way you made profit on ILV from the very beginning of ILV so far, is if you were only buying in those low ranges, okay? I think you made slightly more if you didn't even buy in 30 to 39 and you sold there or whatever. But from what we learned in ILV, I mean, in Ethereum, DCA is the best strategy overall. Really, all of these should be buys. You shouldn't really be selling. When we start hitting those peaks in 90 to 100, because there's a bull run, there's euphoria, there's blow off tops and all that sort of stuff, that is when you should start consider selling, but not necessarily selling your stack. Taking some profit, maybe you sell 50% because you're really confident in this here, which you should always do your own research, but maybe you sell 50% and then you take 10% of that. You say, look, I'm going to buy myself something nice. And when it drops a bit, maybe 30, 40% or whatever, you decide, okay, back to DCAing, let's get onto it straight away again. So you can always make up your own strategy. This is my personal strategy. This is how I'm going about it. You guys can see the results for yourself. Be careful, keep at it, keep consistent. Okay, that's really all that matters. All right, I hope you enjoyed that one, guys. See ya. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and don't forget to watch this next video down there in the bottom left hand. Wait.
It's doing that thing again.
Wait. It's happened again? Oh, crap. It happened again!